Why Ndlea should provide Kyari his drugs as courts grant the agency to detain him for 2 weeks. Welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel. To be the first to get notified when we drop hot juicy news update, please click on notification bell. Thank you. It is no longer news that Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has granted an application by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Ndlea, to detain DCP Abba Kyari for 2 weeks. So in case you have not heard, Abba Kyari applied for, I think he filed for bail. He told the court to tell the Ndlea to release him, and they refused. He also came out and said he has chronic diabetes and that, he needs to go for a medical checkup. And they said no. The court said no. Since you said something against the federal government, that the federal government needs to be aware. Let's find out more about this. The news in detail. The embattled police officer who has been suspended by the Nigerian Police Force and 6 others are under investigation for their involvement in a 25 kilograms cocaine deal. Abba Kyari, who was linked with an internet scam by popular internet sensation Hush Puppy last year, had earlier claimed that he is suffering from diabetes and that he is not having access to his drugs. Now that the court has granted National Drug Law Enforcement Agency to detain Abba Kyari for another 2 weeks, the anti-drug agency should provide Abba Kyari with his medication so that his health will not deteriorate. The agency should know that Abba Kyari has the right to health care, even as he is only a suspect until proven guilty by a court of law. Let me say it. Let me say this now. How did Abba Kyari treat those who actually he has detained? Even when those people tell him that they're actually thirsty or they are hungry or they're actually sick, does he flinch? If he does not flinch, I'm telling you, nothing will make nothing, except God wants to keep him long enough. Except God wants to, to pity him. He is freed. And it takes medical and comes back. But to me, that's why I always said, the measure you give out is the measure you receive. They should even allow him go and take his drug because he needs to answer for all his crimes. He sincerely needs to answer for all his crimes. We don't want any super story. He needs to answer for all his crime. What types of drugs? Did he ever care whether his victims were sick or not? I don't know why you are pampering this evil, whose only vocabulary is to waste another human being because they are from different tribe. Exactly what I just said now. Exactly. Except God wants to keep him long enough to they should just, in fact, in my own opinion, they should give him access to the drugs. Drugs, Abby. Drugs. They are even saying drugs. It's medication. They should allow him access to medication so that he can take care of himself while he's in detention. So that nobody will come and tell us super story that somebody, Abba Kyari, he's no longer. No, we don't want any cock and bull story. He wants his medication. His medication should be brought to him. Let them do it for him. Let them give him what he would not give others, even when they were pleading with him. When the Nigerian government will offer Kyari a political appointment, they will say he's the only competent person. That was what would have happened. He suddenly knows, he wakes up and he said he has diabetes. He has chronic diabetes. With drugs, those he detained, were they given drugs when he detained them? Help me and ask him more. There are many of those, and I'm sure among those who he has detained somebody who was suffering from an ailment, and he refused. Let me say this. No matter where you are, no matter who you are, be careful. Be careful of what you do. Be careful of what you say. Because today, somebody might be in this position below you. Tomorrow, you don't know where the person will be. And for a DCP who is even being accused of fraudster, I was even thinking that one will even put him in check. Our Nigerian police, they themselves, they have a case to answer in court. Why was this man allowed to be loitering around even after he was suspended? Why was he allowed to be loitering around? Why? Why was he? He should have been, they have a case to answer. They have a case to answer. Coming out to say they should give him his drugs, because like I said, we don't want problems. We don't want problem arising of he now fell sick, they now needed to treat him, they were not taking him to the hospital, and he now ran away. We don't want stories. Whatever should be done, his drugs, right, his medications, please, it should be given to him. He should feel the taste of not giving him this thing in his own coin, not giving him his own medicine, not giving him a taste of his own medicine, but they're going to save it for later. They save it for later. Whoever is going to contact, let the person be contacted and let the person buy the medications and bring to him. And of course, they should check and make sure, ensure that it is just the medication. That is just it. This was somebody who I am very sure that he would have carried. What am I saying? Information getting to us whether the certain man, a certain lawyer came out, and if you see what this lawyer said Abba Kyari did to his client. His client, according to that lawyer, was arrested when his client's wife was 5 months pregnant. They asked them to lie down on the ground. They collected all their valuables, their wristwatches. They even collected 141 point something million naira from their account. They took how many thousand naira from the ATM card. And I read the news and I was almost shaking. Because as I was playing around what was happening, how they took the man, they beat him to a pulp, they took him to another of his accounts where he had 15 million naira. And fortunately for them, the account was frozen. The atrocities where this man don't commit. This is just the beginning now. If you hear it with what we are hearing now, there are still those who are still contemplating. I hope this one is not a ploy, so that tomorrow they'll not come after us for speaking up against him. There are some people who are still saying, don't worry, we're not going to say anything against him. Let God just fight for us. But me, I can say for sure that this news concerning Abba Kyari, we are just merely scratching the surface. The Ndlea should prosecute him. There are other people in detention and they're not giving their drugs, right? Who did not even commit a crime, in the person of Sunday Igboho and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Both people are in detention and they're not being treated nicely. He will have a taste of the medicine he has given to several others.